Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ review number 279. I am Virtue, the moderator. And, it doesn't say moderator. It says your Mark. Anyway, I love saying that. But this week's elite panel is, of course, Aaron Rift, as always. Jeff Meacham is back, pulling him out of the weeds, out of retirement. Although you did say you're not doing solo videos, right? Okay. And Walter Cruz, the reliable one, is here as always. What's going on, everybody? Jeff, what's up? You're a Paul Heyman mark, huh?
I've been a Paul Heyman mark from the beginning. Like the one of the original Jeff Meacham shirts was parodied after this. So yeah, I'm a big Paul Heyman guy. I am very happy for him for his induction. Long overdue, but if you read the reports, he didn't want the induction while he was still active. So, but yeah, I'm always glad to return home where it all started. God, almost 22 years ago. Jesus, it's good to be back.
Okay, well, you and Walter are on the show tonight, and I'd like to get out of here by 9. We'll see if that's possible. We do only have 4 at least. We don't have 5.
That's fair.
Walter, what's up?
Nothing much. Yeah, I'll try to make that possible, but it's me and Jeff. But like I always say,
raising your hand.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But every week it's good to see and be seen. So I'm ready to get into it.
All right, well, stand by. Aaron, what's going on?
Not much. It's been a little bit of a slower week in the world of wrestling, but we do have WrestleMania now in less than 2 weeks. And shout out to Jerry, who will be at the Raw after WrestleMania with a NoDQ.com shirt. Much appreciated, Jerry. And I'm looking forward to getting everyone's thoughts on what's going on with Roman Reigns heading into WrestleMania. We did have a pretty significant Dynamite this week with Adam Copeland becoming the new TNT champion. We'll be talking about that and maybe a few other topics. Thanks, everyone, for watching, whether it's live or on demand. Make sure you comment, participate in the chat room. I will put up some of the comments on the screen. And, of course, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up on YouTube at NoDQ.com/YouTube. And please spread the word. Let's get it going.
Okay, first topic. Now, The Rock, no matter what he's doing right now, whether it's his Instagram, obviously on WWE TV, he's fully invested in this Rock character. So he just recently said he's the best heel in wrestling the past 2 decades. And why not? If you're working that final boss angle, why not say that? But it always brings, to light, we on the NoDQ review need to discuss, let's go back at least the last decade, because 20 years ago, make it too hard. I don't want to think. I don't want to forget somebody. So let's go back the last 10 years. Everybody that's been in wrestling is fair game. Can you name your top 3 heels? I don't think we really need to do them in order, but you can say who your number 1 is, like who you're out of the 3, who you think the best is of the 3. And I think it's a discussion we need to have in the NoDQ Galaxy and the chat need to have. Top 3 heels of the past decade. Jeff Meacham, since you're back from a hiatus from the review for at least a month, I don't remember the last time you were on.
Right? Yeah, it's been a minute.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if we're going back 10 years, that's 2014, which, unfortunately is a lot of people I know kind of fell off from watching, including my partner in crime, JJ, stopped watching 2014. That was right after Punk left WWE. So top 3, top 5 heels. I said last time.
Top three, no order, but pick your alpha male.
God, I mean, how do you not quantify Roman?
Or female.
Yeah,
we talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not quantify Roman in there right away? He's been the guy, at the forefront the last 4 years at least. So there's that. I'll say, let's see. Oh goodness. I'll go ahead and give a little bit of love to the Authority, because that was at the tail end of that, Triple H and the group. So yeah, Triple H, Roman, and I'll go ahead and say
I think you're thinking too hard here, because you're going back 10 years.
No, I'm just
within the 10 years. Dude, there is somebody that you, of all people.
Well, I want to say Max. For sure, but I also feel like it was a little bit different for me, and he the heel turn very much cooled off right before he got injured. But yeah, okay, MJF, Triple H, and Roman Reigns for me.
Now of those three, did you kind of already claim that it was Roman, or who would you pick as that guy?
Of those three, if since I'm being okay with saying Max, I'll definitely say Max. He got so Jerry's comments tremendous, by the way. That's great. He's not wrong either. Yeah, I would say Max just because he kept in character the whole way across, which was unprecedented for many, many years. So
yeah. Okay. Well, those are great picks, and I'll tell you, I do have a bone to pick with Roman Reigns later. Not necessarily him, and not the fact that The Rock is there trying to overshadow him, because I know where that's leading. But
right,
yeah, I just wanted people to know, stay tuned for the main event, because Virtue picking something apart about Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
Walter, last 10 years, your top 3 heels.
All right. So I won't say it in any particular order, but of this current era, I'm gonna go with Dom Mysterio. I don't think he gets enough credit. Like, he gets that heat, like that legit. That heat is legit. Like, wow, people boo the hell out of him, won't let him speak, and then he's just having so much fun with being a heel. And after he turned on his father, like, how can you not include Dom? But I didn't want to include because of Rock and Roman's promo. I X'd them out of it, but since we're going back, Randy Orton, we forget like how diabolical of a heel that man has been. So Randy Orton, and then because of The Rock coming back, now I was thinking 2023. So when I went back 10 years, I thought 2013, but it might have been the 2013, 2014 era. But because of Rock's comeback, it forced CM Punk to go heel. So CM Punk. What people forget that everybody's in love and loves him coming back, but we forget how good of a heel he was. He was like when he was a heel, and I mean, come on, going after The Rock and standing on the mic with him and saying your arms are too short to box with God. I think I cheated a little because I think that was 2013. So
well, that's
I might have went more than 10 years.
And I didn't specifically say let's only go back a decade, because to me, that meant I could exclude CM Punk, because let's face it, he's pretty much been a baby face the past 10 years when he is in wrestling. If I went back 20 years, he would definitely be in the discussion to me. But I see what you're saying. It's right there on that border cutoff line. You could say he was for leaving.
Yeah,
he was a legit heel for leaving fans.
But those are my 3. So you got I did my own version of Evolution, like a current one way back in the past, and then Orton, who was like that Ric Flair era person in Evolution. So that's how I did it.
See, for me, it's not The Rock yet. Depending on what is done, because will he become the baby face in the Roman feud when that happens, or not? Like, we don't know. Probably. I mean, it could be Roman that becomes a baby face. We have to see how that plays out. Maybe in a year from now we can revisit this, and then. So I'm not going to say The Rock, but I'm going to definitely say Roman Reigns is my number 1. I mean, come on. MJF, because that was one thing when he was sitting there and just saying whatever he wanted on the AEW mic, calling Tony Khan a mark. Dude, I was loving it. And I know it didn't really reach its full potential like it could have been. And I blame a lot of that on Tony Khan and maybe not booking it correctly, but I still enjoyed it. And the flipping people's cups, kids, pops out of kids' hands and flicking people off in photos. That's epic. That is epic work. So MJF, and he's really, to me, like maybe the 1B to Roman Reigns is 1A. See, the problem with Roman and me, I always looked at him as, he's a heel, but like a face to me. Like his fans, he's a face to. But in the grand scheme of things, he's cheated to win during the Bloodline run most of the time, so he's definitely a heel. But my third one, I know he was babyface the most recent, but Brock Lesnar. Because when Vince McMahon needed him, he showed up, whether it was squashing Kofi, whatever he needed to do, he was Vince's top heel champion guy to put the title on when you needed it. And Brock Lesnar, I really wish I would have picked a female. I'm sure if I would have said top 10, we would have had a couple in there, so I'm not trying to be sexist. Those are my top 3. So, Aaron, I'm sure you're going to overlap all of us, or do you have a surprise?
That's a good question. Do I have a surprise? First of all, let's get this out of the way. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says Aaron's hated heels are Jinder Mahal, Ryback, and AOPP. Jeff?
I'm not sure if 10 years quantifies, but Rift Arrington's Aaron's top heel, to be fair.
Oh, come on. Why would you
the man
do that?
destroyed his apartment, for crying out loud. I mean, God, what an evil sumbitch.
Yeah, he did. Very evil. And even mentioning his name is evil. That makes you a heel right there, Jeff. Son of a bitch. All right, anyways.
I mean, Paul Heyman guy, sorry.
Hey, Paul Heyman's a guy. Top heel, Paul Heyman. I'm not sure if anybody actually mentioned Paul Heyman, but
in a way with Brock, kind of, sort of, I implied him. But yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, because the thing about Brock, I love Brock as a choice because he was like the final boss for several years. He ended the Undertaker streak, but Paul Heyman was the one that I think really got the heat for the duo. When Brock was out there destroying people, I think a lot of fans were cheering him. And that's where I'm conflicted with this topic, and I'll get to that more here in just a second. TJS sent in a $5 super chat. Shout out to TJS. Not sure if we'll ever see him on the NoDQ review again, but he did send in a super chat and said, excited for CM Punk on Raw tomorrow. Virtue is the final boss for Trolls. If you smell what the NoDQ review is cooking.
See,
Much
TJS,
love, lads.
the trick on X.com, I finally say that now, not Twitter, is you have to blend in with the trolls, which I get accused of being one myself, in order to truly slay them. So that's my secret. Final boss of the trolls. Okay.
There you go. There's another T-shirt idea for you. Virtue, the final boss of the Trolls.
So many great ideas for that spring store, I'm telling you.
I know, right? We got another $2 super chat here from Psycho Jet Black. He says, are you a good or bad heel if you get go away heat?
That's a good question.
What's the last true go away heat?
Vicky Guerrero?
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe in WWE, that those boos felt like, I don't think that was go away heat.
Baron Corbin?
Yeah,
Ryback?
I'll say Corbin.
Nia Jax? I don't know.
Yeah, Nia Jax might be up there.
The last run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say Nia or Ryback, but Nia's much more recent than that. So, and Vicky, I don't think had go away heat because people knew at the end of the day that she was genuinely good. Well, up until the last little social media nonsense, but the Bucks. Don't get me started. We're trying to keep it under an hour, brother. Don't get me started on the Bucks.
Didn't they coin a whole phrase? Xbox heat,
which I never understood. I like that either.
Yeah. Sure. Like I never understood why that was labeled a thing. Like, did people want him to go away just because of X Factor? Like, I never understood that ever.
Go away heat, like temporarily, it was Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 because the fans knew they were both leaving the business and leaving them.
Yeah.
So they were mad at that, but that was temporary. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I got people still hate on Goldberg now compared to Lesnar, to be fair. So.
All right, so here's my opinion. Roman Reigns, great heel, and he technically is a heel, but he does get cheered a lot. It's funny, once he actually officially turned heel, that's when fans started liking him. So
right.
Roman is up there, but I like to consider the guys that just get the fans to boo them out of the building, but it's in a positive way, not go away heat. So if I'm going by that criteria, I think my picks, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, he comes out there. The fans just love to boo the guy. The arena is just erupting in boos every time he's out there. So he's on my list. Christian Cage going out there doing some of the best work of his career, talking about dead fathers and just getting people to hate his guts. Roman Reigns might be my number 3. I also would like to include Don Callis on there. He's another one that goes out there and gets the crowd just hating his guts. And you want to see, like, to me, the best heels are the ones that want you to cheer for the good guy and make the fans want to see the heel get beat up. Like, you want to see the heel get his ass kicked. Those are the best heels, the ones that can draw money and get the fans cheering the baby face. You know, those are the best heels in my opinion. So I'm torn with the list here because I love Roman Reigns. He would probably be on there, but he gets cheered a lot. However, he is the final boss. The Rock is not there. The Rock is just entertaining. He's technically a heel right now, but is he a double agent? As mentioned earlier, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's one of those. First of all, Don Callis has never shied away from getting that lethal heat. Like, God, he was attacking Mexico. Like, Don's committed to the bit, man. And as far as The Rock goes, how can you hate on a guy that goes on Instagram this morning and sings "You're welcome" to a Make-A-Wish kid? Like, I'm not booing that guy on Friday. I'm not.
And MJF is on the list too. I mean, MJF just goes out there at his peak as a heel.
Oh,
like
God.
he would not break character.
Nope.
He would just say offensive things to push the envelope. So he's got to be up there. You know, Roman Reigns, MJF are neck and neck, and then I put in Dominic and Christian Cage. So there's my top four.
And see, the reason why I could, choose Roman Reigns number one as a heel versus what you said, he gets cheered and fans like him, and he's that type of attraction, is because he's in a group that cheat for him to win most of the time. So there's still enough heel tactics there for me to qualify him as that, which that's going to be a little cliffhanger for later. Remember all of that. Remember this whole run of the bloodline and Roman finding ways to keep titles, solo debuting, and then wait till we talk about what's happening heading into WrestleMania and what could happen that night two. Just remember that. That's my cliffhanger leading up to my beef a little bit with the Roman character, how WWE is portraying him right now. So, yes, Aaron.
All right. Well said there. I'm looking forward to the little tease for later. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, scratch that. Aaron's number one heel is Ox Baker.
Yes.
Well, for those of you that don't know, I was terrified of a photo of Ox Baker as a baby. It was up in my parents' apartment. They had a picture up there right above my crib, literally right above my crib. And I was just absolutely terrified. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and throw it up right now so you guys know what I'm talking about. There it is right there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's the picture.
Is it the same place I've been?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, God, how traumatizing.
Yeah, that's 1983 right there. That was a long ass time ago.
I love your parents, but damn.
Imagine if you're like 1 year old and you see that picture, how are you going to react?
Dude, I had the Hulk Hogan LJN figure at that age, but not an Ox Baker picture. Good grief.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you. He says, Dominic Mysterio with Don Callis as manager would be fire. Yeah.
Dude, that would be like watching the world burn heat, like the Joker from Dark Knight heat. Like people, like the arena would burn down. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not sure the world could handle that. But anyways, we're caught up. Thank you, Psycho Jet Black. Virtue, let's move on to the next topic.
Here's where our numbers are going to plummet now. AEW topics. Now, I really just want to talk about the Adam Copeland Edge versus Christian Cage match that was on Dynamite for the TNT title, in which Edge won in Toronto, became the champion. That was a very good, fun match to watch. I watched it. My dad watched it. What's weird is as we were watching it, we were not even really worried about what wrestling company we were watching. We just were watching a very fun and entertaining match on television with two legends. So let's talk about that. Everybody's thoughts here, having Edge win that title. And then if there's anything else in AEW that's happened recently, I don't want to slight like Mercedes Moné, as I hear her saying it, like to sound more like money. You can bring up anything else about AEW. Walter, I'll start with you on this one. Thoughts?
All right. Yeah, no, I really, really like this match, and the little innuendos with the hockey and the penalty boxes and the everything. Even though we knew Adam Copeland was winning that match just because of the way the previous two matches were booked against Christian, but they both did their thing. And you got to keep in mind, this dude is like 48 or like really close to 50, whatever he is, and they're both putting on matches like this. You should be in the twilight of your career, and these two are putting on matches like, I mean, they're a little slower, but still compared to like 20 years ago, they're still putting on great matches, and Christian's having the best run of his life. So it's like, How can you not respect these two? And to do it in his hometown, like the only negative, I don't want to be Mr. Negative, but the only thing is like I wish it was a pay-per-view, because to do the title change like that on a Dynamite, even though it's Dynamite Toronto, but it's just a little awkward to me. Like Adam Copeland should have given him enough respect to win it on a pay-per-view and made it a big thing out of it. But that's my only slight. That's just my own personal thing. But at least Adam won, and hopefully he gets the title a good run. The thing is, will it compare to Christian's? Because Christian had a pretty good run with it, and he really elevated this TNT title. So now it's up to Copeland to take the ball and run with it. So
yeah, wasn't it being hot potatoed
yeah.
before him, kind of? Yeah, so that's good.
Hell yeah. It was hot potato crazy. Like it became a thing on Aaron's reviews, like the hot potato, and we all just made jokes after that. This title wasn't jacked before Christian got a hold of it, to be honest. It was the what title is that? Like,
oh, hey,
it's worse.
Didn't Okada win a title, a Ring of Honor title? There you go.
No, he won the AEW portion of that Triple Crown, but yeah, because Eddie's still the Ring of Honor champion at least till next Friday. Hopefully, God, hopefully. Lord.
Well, go ahead. Are you done, Walter? Are you set?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I was going to say JJ's comment. I was going to say that first. The crowd continuing to sing the song. It was great because, you know, we kind of got used to the Judas sing along. We've had a couple other people do that, but man, the crowd singing the chorus of Adam's theme song, and you can see it got to him. It definitely got to me watching it back on replay when I finally got to watch that show yesterday. Jesus, a long week. I liked the match. I liked the presentation. It's one of those, you know, Walter said, they're having the best run of their lives, or at least in a long time. Yeah, I remember when they both got hurt in WWE back in 2011, that type of injury was the kiss of death. WWE didn't want to touch any part of that from a PR standpoint because of what's happened with guys that had spinal and neck and head trauma previously. They don't want to go there. Edge coming back when he did was a very much a surprise, but when you start feeling creatively like, okay, now what, and you still have that itch, you want to go somewhere where you can explore it. And Adam's always said he wanted to finish his career working with his buddy, so he is. And it was a fun match. As a hockey fan, it was great seeing it in Toronto. Just fun for me personally to watch that unfold with the penalty box. That was fun. But as far as the rest of the company, I'm still intrigued what they're going to do with Mercedes long term. I've been okay with the last couple of weeks and what she's done and what she said. So we'll see how things play out. I'll tell you what, I know we're not big on, at least the entirety of the group's not big on the whole, popping the star review for a match, but I'm looking forward to Danielson and Ospreay. That's going to be fun to watch as a match. It's as a match in and of itself, story or not, it's going to be a fun match to watch. So I'm looking forward to it.
As long as nobody gets hurt.
Seriously, Brian, well, actually both these guys now, because Ospreay's been out recently with injury too. If these guys can stay off the injury list after the match and they go out there and do what they can do, it's going to be very hard pressed to have a match the rest of the year follow it and get that top, like, best technical of the year or whatever.
So thanks for that, Jeff. Regarding Copeland and Christian Cage, I mean, it was on the AEW. They were using their other names, so it was still very good. To me, they'll always be WWE guys. And like you said, the timing wasn't right because of their injuries.
Yeah.
But they're back now, and obviously WWE cleared Edge to wrestle when he was just there recently. I would have loved for this, and this is where the AEW fans are going to come with their pitchforks and torches at me. I would have rather had this, I don't know, at a WrestleMania. But it is what it is. That's fine. Good for AEW, and hopefully, like, they don't just drift off into the distance like, oh, Edge is a TNT champion. And, hopefully they can – Tony Khan needs to build people with momentum, even if they're coming off of a great feud and you got to split them into – different direction, because not everybody wants to see who's the guy with Don Callis, Jeff?
Takeshita.
I don't know.
Take a shit. Yeah, I know you're going with.
I know there is a fan base for guys like that, Will Ospreay and stuff like that. But believe it or not, there's still a very strong fan base for people like Edge,
Mhm.
Christian. You know, I know Jericho. No, I don't know. He's got a whole whirlwind of emotion from people, but like, and I'm not saying that needs to dominate their television, but
Right.
what I'm saying is I enjoyed half an hour of AEW television this past week.
Yeah.
And who are the guys in it? Right. And I know we say, oh, they get push WWE guys. Well, you pay for them, utilize them. That was a good instance in which they were properly utilized. Aaron, what do you have to say here?
Well, I agree with you. I thought it was a great way to utilize both guys, and I enjoyed the match very much. One of my favorite Dynamite matches. And the thing is, I will remember this match 6 months from now. A lot of the Dynamite matches, as great as they are, I will not remember them in 6 months' time. Like, they just blend in together. But this one stood out to me. I liked that they did it in Toronto. Yeah, they could have not had the TNT title on the line, but maybe they have a bigger plan. I hope that somebody can be elevated from beating Adam Copeland when the time comes. Whoever beats him for the title can have a great career, saying that they beat Adam Copeland, one of the all-time greats, to become the TNT champion. So I'm really curious as to who's next for Adam Copeland. Now that he's done with Christian, they finished that feud. Maybe they'll get back together at some point. But who's next? Who will face Adam Copeland? I know he's doing his Cope Open, which I'm not the biggest fan of because it just feels like rehashing what we've already seen over the years. Remember the John Cena Open Challenge for the U.S. title. I want to see Copeland in a really intriguing feud with whoever's going to be the future of the wrestling business. So I'm very curious to see who they pair with him long term and who will be the guy that ultimately takes the title. I don't know if Daniel Garcia is that guy or should be that guy, but I hope they can come up with somebody who is worthy to step in and beat Copeland and go to the next level. Who will that be? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm liking Adam Copeland winning the title, and curious as to where they go with it.
All right, gentlemen. Any other last thoughts on AEW before we move on to the main event, which will probably take up the next 30 minutes of our show, as it should? Going once, going twice. All right, let's talk about this. Now, let me preface by saying this has nothing to do with The Rock being back, calling himself the final boss, taking that spotlight, looking like the alpha male when the bloodlines are all in the ring. Because all I needed was that one moment, which they delivered. Roman stopped The Rock, said, I needed a favor, acknowledge me. And The Rock did, sincere or not. He did it. And I heard it. And whether this is a ruse or not, I heard that. But what I don't like is the fact that, think about the whole run that Roman has had since he's been in the bloodline. He's had that title for 1,300 plus days. Anytime he seems vulnerable, there's an out. There's something, solo debuts or the Usos come out, like there's an out. Finn Balor, the ropes fall, corny as that was. There's something that, like the mob mentality, they have a plan. They have a way out the back door. This particular moment now, and maybe because it's leading, he has to be. Think of The Sopranos, the final episode where it went dark in the restaurant. Did they get shot? Were they vulnerable in that moment if that's the ending that you put in your head? Right now, Roman, look what happened on SmackDown. We knew the bloodline was going to be there, even though he told Cody, hey, this me and you, Paul Heyman will be there, but he's not a threat. And then so when I saw Jimmy and Solo come out, I was like, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. But then they were duped because Cody was ready. And I get it, right? You can't trust Heyman. You can't trust the bloodline. So out comes Seth and Jay. This is where I wish there was this one other way the bloodline could have got the one up here. This whole run, I would even say since the beginning of the year, Roman he looks too vulnerable. And you're supposed to be strong. You got to make the fans think that you're going to cheat and beat Cody, not this is where Cody's story is going to be finished. And again, The Rock aside, we could say that he is going to be the one to double cross Roman and cost it to set up their feud, fine and dandy. You can't go 3 years of keeping those titles on you, gaining another championship when he beat Brock, and then all of a sudden start looking like you're slipping and you're about to get fooled. And that just to me is I don't blame Roman, right? He could speak up, but like Heyman, come on, man. And maybe they're gonna fool us. Maybe night 2, those Cody fans are upset. Maybe Rollins is the key. But Jeff, I'm gonna start with you here. This just doesn't make sense to me. Like, even if there's an end game of Roman losing the title, he just looks way too vulnerable based on the 3 years we've had with the Bloodline. They are mob mentality, mafia rules, and he's getting duped. Not the fact that some people think he looks like The Rock's sidekick. That doesn't bother me. It's the fact that he's looking like he's going to let Cody trick him. Dude, it just doesn't make sense to me with how dominant Roman has been in that heel department, which we talked about earlier, of finding ways to keep the title, always having a one-up. And what do you think here? Did it start happening? Did Roman start getting weaker when Jay broke away and all that happened? I feel like he's going to look like a dumb heel when this is all done.
Yeah, it feels like that. We've all talked about over the years, before it was John Cena, now it's Roman Reigns, big match, John. Don't bet against him. I bet against Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. I was sure that Randy Orton was going to walk out of the WWE champion because Roman's time had come, and it didn't. And so I would say definitely this year, 2024, he has definitely looked the weakest he's looked since he came back out at Payback 2020 and just laid waste to everybody. That's how I feel. He looks the most vulnerable, but I also think that's by design, because there's a comment in there, a couple comments up that, maybe after 3 years we're running out of ideas. Yeah, they are. So they're trying to throw the red herring at us. Oh, Roman's looking weak. Oh, he got outsmarted on SmackDown. Ooh, maybe this is finally the time. As much as personally, because I'm a fan and I've been, an admirer of the family for so long, and I want Cody to win at WrestleMania, I don't think it's going to happen. And we'll talk about that on the predictions show throughout the course of the next 2 weeks. But I don't think this is going to be the time that the story finishes. And I don't know when that's going to be, if that's the case, but I don't think it's going to be a Mania. So I think this aura of vulnerability on the champion is a red herring. It's a false presentation, because there's going to be some sort of ace in the hole. And whether it's Lance Anoa'i, who's a free agent, whether it's Jacob Fatu, who's always in the discussion about coming up to the big time, if you will, there will always be something. And I jokingly said it about a year ago, as long as there's an Anoa'i's producing babies, there's always going to be a bloodline. So, we're good for the next 3 generations in that case, because good Lord, those Anoa'i's are prolific.
See, Jeff, I feel if they have Rock and Roman win that tag match night 1, it's inevitable that night 2 is going to end with fireworks for Cody.
Right.
There's no way they're going to do both. That night 1 match is very intriguing, because we want to see who the winner is, because that might at least sway what we think for night 2 just a little bit.
Yeah, I firmly believe that the outcome of night 1, of course, it's easy to say that, Jeff. That's how it's supposed to look. It will determine night 2. If the bloodline loses the first night, Roman's retaining.
I'm starting to feel that way too.
Just because people are like, oh, he'll get a fair shake, and Roman will win clean, and people will shit their pants.
I don't mind Roman scheduled to lose and lose the titles to Cody. If that's
sure, I don't either.
I don't like all of a sudden being vulnerable. And again, they could play it off like maybe The Rock came in and made him that way, and the insecurities happened, and him and Heyman were all. But you got Heyman with you too. Yes. And remember they split Heyman with him for a little bit, only to really fool the people and have Heyman back with them. That they are ready for anything. And at some point, yes, that group has to lose, and you got to be vulnerable. And it just, I don't know, man. It seems like it's sinking like a rock. No pun intended. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I agree.
Keep going. You're on the clock still. Walter's stirring.
To answer the question in the chat, the last time Roman won a match clean was a cage match against Corbin in February of 2020. Since then, it's been Roman Reigns in singles matches.
Did he beat? I thought he beat Riddle clean on SmackDown, or was there interference?
He might have, or Brian.
Yeah.
If there wasn't interference, there was definitely at least some sort of like distraction from the bloodline. So if you don't count distraction, then yeah, it would have been Riddle or Brian. That's fair. Okay. Anyway, I just saw that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be stat guy in check. Yeah, I feel like what's happening is a distraction tactic rather than actual vulnerability. And I personally, as a fan, I hope I'm wrong, but I would love it if they found a way to just enable the Cody crybabies to keep going after April 7th. That'd be wonderful for me. Just watch it unfold. I'm an agent of chaos. I want to watch that shit go down.
Dude, and if they wanted to really have Roman, remember Cody said in that one promo, "I'm going to take everything from you," which is if The Rock not only double-crossed Roman, but Solo and Jimmy sided with The Rock to form the bloodline, and Roman was pushed out, that could be the babyface turn.
There you go.
There are ways that I could be satisfied as a fan of Roman hitting rock bottom. See, look, this happens naturally. But like for him just to go crashing down to nothing, there are ways it would make sense. But then where does that leave Heyman? And we got to hear, like, is Roman ready for that promo afterwards when he's got nobody with him?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. What's funny if and again, I know I'm taking away my turn here.
No,
if they go past WrestleMania and the big, rumor about it or whatever, and I'm going to totally present JJ's theory, and I'm saying it's JJ's theory. So let me just throw it out there right now. The Hogan numbers point is September 12th. The next day is a Friday, and there's nothing booked at Madison Square Garden that day yet. So I again, it's way in the future. I'm thinking, long term, because JJ's thinking long term. JJ's long term storytelling guy. It's what he does. But I think if they're going to go ahead and prolong it past WrestleMania, which again, people are going to be divided on that, get it to the Garden then. If you're going to keep throwing us, curveballs, then just get us to freaking Survivor Series. Or not Survivor Series, Garden. I saw this cat room. Sorry. Get us to the Garden and go from there.
Remember, Roman's next win, according to Cage Match, 1,000. So if you win, but with 2 matches WrestleMania weekend, if he can't get 1 win to get that 1,000 at WrestleMania 40, that will truly be Roman. Like, something's going to be changing with him, like babyface turn or something.
Yeah, he's got to do something.
So, all right. So you get you get the point that I'm bringing up here of just like following Roman. Remember, I go way back with Roman, way back to the Shield, where I supported him the whole time. So
people think this is the whole Roman Empire.
A few downs, but mostly ups. Remember, he went through that period of time after WrestleMania 31. He didn't win the title for a while. Like, he was getting beat, or they didn't, and then they finally put it on him. And he didn't really have dominant reigns. Like, he would lose, then he got the leukemia remission. So this is just really, this last 3 years has been a big deal, because sure, those first 5 years were Vince pushing him as that guy, but this bloodline angle, people have gravitated towards it because he turned heel, because he aligned with Heyman. He elevated his brother, his cousins, and Solo got called up. A lot of good stuff has come with this. And Sami Zayn had a good moment, like Sami and Kevin. Like, there's a lot of things. And then now Cody. And so I get what fans are wanting, but
Heyman.
That's why I'm putting so much spotlight on this, because it's been such a lot of things have happened, and let's not have a dud, or let's make this a perfect moment. I know that's hard in wrestling, but man, I really hope, however they orchestrate it together, they put it together the best way that their minds could think to appease everybody. They know Cody has his fans. They know Roman had. They want to keep everybody invested post WrestleMania, right? Because Monday night after WrestleMania, the season resets, but you want to still have people interested in your main event. So pressure on Triple H, big time.
Heyman pointed out, I think 10 years ago, Heyman pointed out the fact that John Cena was the guy for 10 years in WWE. More than all these other runs people talk about, Hogan's and Austin's and even, Bruno's. Yeah. They weren't a consistent 10 years like John Cena had. The company has been its most profitable across every board other than ratings, and again, we've had the discussion about ratings, so we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But every other checkable mark, WWE's been at its best the last 3 years. Who's been the champion? Who's been the guy? Roman Reigns.
It's been a good mix. All right.
There's no disputing that.
Walter, here's the thing with Reigns.
Sorry, brother.
I know Hogan's record of third place all time, but there's a big difference from Hogan to Bruno at number 1.
Yeah.
But they could have Roman be third, which would bump Hogan down, which is somewhat of a big deal. And if they take this away from him, which I'm expecting, you're not just going to have that opportunity again, because they're not like these 3-year title reigns just don't happen. So you got to throw that in the equation too, right? My job is to throw doubt into the Cody fans. Walter, I still see some that vulnerability. I know Jeff said it wasn't necessarily that, but there's just something I wish Roman was appearing a little stronger heading into Mania. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. I think it's done by design. He's playing second fiddle to The Rock, like purposely. It's like it's the whole thing coming back with The Rock. However, I would love to see the swerve of The Rock trying to do that where he turns on Roman, but Roman already saw it coming and outsmarted.
And then Ava comes out and low blows her dad. Oh,
oh, jeez. Oh my God.
I just threw that out.
Don't throw that shit in ether. My goodness.
There's someone from the bloodline, because, like he said, there's no shortage of people in the Anoa'i/Fatu family. I said it on Aaron's one of his streams in the chat that they're like a wrestling factory. Like, they just keep spitting people out. Like, it's just on a conveyor belt. There's always going to be somebody who's next in line from that family. That family is never, like, going to run out of their share of. And this is a great way you could debut somebody. Like, I almost thought they were going to do that in SmackDown. Like, Heyman's little clause would have been like, I told you there wasn't going to be anybody from the current bloodline. And then all of a sudden, one of the new members, like Jacob or somebody, was there. But they didn't do that. They went with the whole Cody outsmarted Roman. But I think in the end, we'll get it. Like, Roman is going to outsmart The Rock. Like, we all are leaning on The Rock turning on him. Like, I'd rather see Roman turn on The Rock first. Like, it's the, like, I got to you before you got to me. Yeah. Like we got to do that.
I think with me bringing this up, that's really what I'm feeling. That's what I want to happen. And I just don't feel like it's even being thought about. But that's what it is. I want Roman just to look like that mob boss. The king of all the kings. Yes.
Yeah. It's almost like, like watching, you ever, like, I don't know, people that watch anime that like Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's like every time there was something came and you thought you got them, there's a stupid trap card somewhere and they just like fought against it. Like every time Yu-Gi-Oh you thought he was going to lose, all of a sudden, no, but I got this trap card and it was always convenient. So it's like, I feel like that, like Roman's got something laying in the wings, like, I'm going to get to you before you get to me. I just did what you were going to do. I was just smart enough to pull the trigger first.
Now,
and
Walter,
it's like you said, it's that mafia mob mentality.
Obviously, Cody won the Royal Rumble. So whatever they thought, I really wish they would have just had Rock show up and win it. We wouldn't have had this outrage, but Cody won it. And then they decided, oh, let's do Rock and Roman. And that's where the issue started. With that said, what was their mentality if that's what they were going to do? You think Rock was going to win the title from Roman? Probably not. So Roman would have continued as the champion. So most likely, I mean, we don't know for sure, but that's what you would have to believe. If that's the match they ended up getting, Cody would have probably wrestled Seth. And here we are now. Like most of us are like, yeah, it's over. Roman's losing that title. I don't know. What a whirlwind that Vegas press conference really created. But again, it's WWE's doing, because they booked Cody to win the Rumble. That was the problem.
They did the thing that we always say, you booked yourself into the corner. Like that. Now they were like, now they gave themselves like not too many outs. So now you got all these, I don't know. It's like, you got to really think about how can we get out of this? Because we really boxed ourselves in the corner. And yeah, like it wasn't the best thing to have. And everybody knows how I feel about Royal Rumble repeat winners. I'm not a fan of that. Like, give other people opportunities. So that really screwed it. That really screwed it up right there alone, having a repeat winner, because it's like he has to be the main event. Oh no, but he took it back to let The Rock get ahead of him. Now you made Cody look weak. Now we got to make him look strong again. It's like it kept doing.
And I don't buy that maybe Punk was scheduled to win and they called an audible. I don't buy that because I really think they would have had Punk still win it and would have figured out a way out of it with the injury, or you know what I mean? So I think they just had Cody win it, and that was that.
Just like when Kennedy won the Money in the Bank, they figured it out outing after he got hurt. Like, I don't think Punk was ever in the cards to win. Like, he was going to main event against Seth one way or another if he didn't get hurt that way. I don't think he was going to win the Royal Rumble to get to Seth. It was just going to be whoever wins was a SmackDown person. Maybe The Rock shows up. I don't know what the original plan was, but I don't think it was Punk was going to win. Jeff, did you have something?
I was going to say, I think they took Kennedy out of the equation not because of the injury. I think they were looking at the head and went, "Oh, he's going to get us in trouble. We better just say it." I love Ken. Yeah. I wish he could have fulfilled that and actually cashed in at 24 because I would have been there to see it, but it didn't happen because of shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Walter, anything else before I pass it over to Aaron? And there's some super chats. So
no, I see those chats. So no.
Have at it, Aaron.
Okay, so first of all, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, "Imagine if CM Punk never got injured at the Royal Rumble." Well, I think that he would have lost, and I think we would have had CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. WrestleMania could have been very different, but maybe not. Now, I will say this about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. I was not really a big fan of that segment on SmackDown. I thought both of them looked pretty weak. And I feel like part of it is due to The Rock. The Rock is just overshadowing everything that's going on between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns right now. It's been The Rock. WrestleMania, everybody's talking about The Rock. The Rock is the buzz. The Rock is the hottest heel or face, whatever you want to call him, in wrestling right now. And Cody and Roman have almost taken a back seat. Now, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because if you didn't have The Rock involved, then it would just feel like the same exact buildup as last year. And that's also part of the problem with it, is that I feel like it's just a rehash of last year. And like Walter said, when you have a repeat Royal Rumble winner, it kind of makes the second match very predictable. And, we're talking about possible alternative scenarios. Virtue, I think Roman will look strong before we get to WrestleMania. We got 2 weeks left. And it would not shock me on the go-home show if Roman Reigns just annihilates Cody and just leaves him laying and starts screaming in his face and asserts his dominance. I do think we're going to get that on the go-home show before WrestleMania. So I think it's coming. Go ahead.
Reigns was on Pat McAfee's show, and I loved what he said there. I wish he would have said more of that on SmackDown.
We mentioned the politician line, which was kind of funny because Cody had a line on SmackDown saying that the first team to ever beat the Shield, the last name was Rhodes, which is technically not true. The first team, I believe, was Team Hell No and Randy Orton, if I'm not mistaken. Jeff, is that correct?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Full Shield, yes. But you know what, though? I take that back because I think were they tag champions when they lost to Team Hell No and Orton? Or do they win the tag titles after that?
I'm not sure. I know the Rhodes, Cody, and Goldust won the tag
titles. 2013.
But that was after Team Hell No in a 6-man match beat the Shield.
That was after Mania that year, right?
Yeah. Okay. It was like July or August.
Well, yeah, it's cool. Well, yeah, because the title win was like toward the fall. So yeah, either way, again, that was Roman losing the title to Cody, so they can do a little bit of retroactive editing.
Yeah. Like I said on the McAfee show, I loved how Reigns said, "Well, it was going to be rocking me, but a bunch of whiny bitches changed it." Like that. That was great. Like,
and at the end of the day, if they go with the true statement, Aaron, then the Shield's first loss was to a mayor who's controversial in politics now, a guy that's in AEW now, and Randy Orton. So do we really want to open that thread on national television? Probably not.
Exactly. By the way, thank you to everybody watching this across all the platforms. We have over 1,000 people watching us right now. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for supporting the NoDQ review. If you're watching this on X or Facebook, please head over to nodq.com/YouTube and consider subscribing to the channel. We have the chat room. You can leave your comments in the chat room over on YouTube. So head over there if you're enjoying this and you want to check out more videos. NoDQ.com/YouTube.
See, Aaron, everyone's watching on social media. That's how they consume their media these days.
Exactly. It's the new era. Psycho Jet Black sent it a $2 super chat, says, what if we get a DQ finish at the night one main event, Jeff?
Walter's reply is the best reply. No, Psycho. That's a bad Psycho. No.
There you go.
No.
Yeah, they're not doing a DQ finish.
God.
And without
fart in church. No.
I already have my prediction for WrestleMania. I doubt it's going to change. And well, I'm not going to go too much into that because I want to save it for the predictions video. But I like that we're doubting the idea of Cody winning. That's a good thing. And I do think Roman is going to look very dominant before we get to WrestleMania. You got to wait till the go-home show. I look at this like WrestleMania 14. Now, I don't necessarily think Rock is going to turn against Reigns at WrestleMania or vice versa. Cody might just flat out win and The Rock remains a heel and they keep that pairing going on a little bit longer because I feel like we got to get Cody Rhodes versus The Rock in a singles match for the title before we get to Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Like, we got to get that at SummerSlam or something, or maybe Saudi Arabia.
What if Cody beats Reigns, Rock beats Cody for the title, and then Reigns beats Rock, wins it back.
There you go. That's a possibility. I was
gonna say you want to guarantee to fill that Cleveland Brown stadium up because Lord knows they can't do it during the football season. God, go ahead and put freaking Roman Reigns, Rock, or Cody in that main event match. I'm here for that.
Yeah. Walter?
You know what I would love? Like, all right, if you do the one-on-one with Cody versus The Rock, you use Rock as his TKO powers, and he adds a MSG, Madison Square Garden event, and he says, "You mean Madison Square Garden?" And you could just even though it's not on the calendar now, you could just say he used his power of the board to add a MSG match, and then boom.
I was going to say, with as much power as they still hold within the Garden, man, they will find a way to get in there if they want. I'm serious. They'll find a way. So,
yeah. So everybody's talking about a possible turn. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a turn at WrestleMania with The Rock and Roman Reigns. I could see this team sticking together. Keep in mind, we got a year until 41, so there's plenty of time to build up to something. It's the long game. I definitely want to see Cody versus The Rock at some point. I feel after all of this trash talking and everything, I would almost be disappointed if The Rock was just a double agent now. I want to see these guys fight now. I think there's money in Cody Rhodes versus The Rock post WrestleMania whenever The Rock is available. I know he's got another movie coming up, so it might not be till SummerSlam. And we all know Roman Reigns takes his time off for a while, so they may slow build this. Roman Reigns eventually gets his rematch, but The Rock may step in and try to go after Cody at some point. So that's a little teaser for my predictions, but we'll talk more about that. I really got nothing else to add. I think Roman Reigns will look strong before we get to WrestleMania, probably the go-home show the night before.
Go.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, did Virtue freeze?
I think he did.
Somebody pull Virtue string.
You're a mark. You're all a bunch of marks.
That's right. You bunch of freaking marks. You're so markish, you sent Virtue's technology into a tailspin. Congratulations, you bunch of marks.
I have to say TJS is the biggest mark of them all. That's Virtue talking, not me. I love TJS.
Sure it is.
All right, so I guess I'm not sure if Virtue wanted to add anything else, but we could start doing our plugs. If he comes back, he does. If he doesn't, then it is what it is. We're wrapping up anyways. So, Jeff, go ahead and give us your plugs. Tell us what's going on with the Jeff Meacham Network.
Well, as I said, I'm not doing the solo stuff until WrestleMania week, but this is everything. Starting next Saturday night, open mic night, we'll have our second annual wrestling-themed karaoke night, and then it's just watch-along city. Bloodsport X, Bloodsport 10 from Josh Barnett and GCW, Supercard of Honor, the Hall of Fame, Stand Deliver, WrestleMania both nights. We're doing a watch along with Slammies because I'm clearly a glutton for punishment. And the Raw After Mania. Those are all going to be watch alongs on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. In all total, we're going to have 22 different streams over the course of 9 days across one or more of our platforms. God help me.
Jeez, and I thought I was doing a lot. Anyways, Virtue's back. Virtue?
Yes.
Well, I'll wait when I do my last plug. So go ahead, Walter.
But yes, Blair, karaoke. We have karaoke's nights once a quarter or so, wrestling themed karaoke a week from yesterday, Saturday night, the 30th.
Sounds good. Walter?
And I can't wait for that. I'm involved in a lot of what was on that
Right?
screen.
Yes, you are.
So
Yes,
our
you
folks
are.
gonna say like, damn, we ain't breathing that week. But
No.
yeah, but
He's
if
gonna
you
die.
follow me personally, exactly. On the X, it's at Walter Alex Cruz. The Cow Fire Farms is the business Instagram. If you're into that kind of stuff, if not, then don't follow it. But at Reigns and Wrestling, at Reigns and Wrestling, but some of y'all need to. The marks need to. So you stop being Cody Crybaby bitches. But anyways,
Right.
the YouTube is at Reigns and Wrestling. Got more content coming on there, but a lot of it's gonna coincide with the guy up there in the upper right corner. So we'll see, because we got a lot coming. But thanks,
Final
as
boss.
always, for having me up here.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Walter. Pleasure as always. Okay, Aaron.
All right, so I do not have as many streams as Jeff going on, but I do have 13 straight days of live streaming beginning on March 31st. And there's the URL, which goes straight to the YouTube channel, nodq.com/YouTube. And again, anybody watching on X, we do have a lot of people watching on X and Facebook. So head over to nodq.com/YouTube. Please subscribe and tell a friend, spread the word. Let's keep the community growing. Let's build the NoDQ channel. And maybe we'll get some fresh faces on for predictions. I think Matthew is interested in being on, so maybe we'll make that happen. And if you guys ever want to be on a panel, first of all, contact Virtue if you want to be on the review, and send in like a sample video so we can see you on camera. Virtue, where can they contact you?
They can go on X at NoDQ_Virtue or email me NoDQVirtue straight through at Gmail.
All right, so contact him if you want to be on the review. He's running how we do the panels and everything and how the show's going. So contact him. And then if you want to be on a predictions panel, you can contact me. And we may get a few new people on for WrestleMania, change it up a little bit. Looking forward to that. That's coming up. It's on that graphic I posted. You can see when the predictions are. So that's all I got. Virtue, go ahead.
And when is predictions? It's after next Sunday's review, right?
Correct.
Okay, then I'll wait till next review to give at least my main event prediction. So that's it. So go to nodq.com, nodq.com/merch. Follow me on x.com if you dare. There's a Twitter handle. And stay tuned to the nodq.com/merch page, because I'm hoping he has it ready for WrestleMania. We got a new Virtue shirt coming. And I will post it as soon as Aaron has it ready. And it's going to have a nice, cool saying on the front, and on the back we'll have the NoDQ logo with the little Virtue logo underneath that, like the I'm Sorry shirt had. It'd be my second shirt that has a front and the back. So stay tuned for that. And more importantly, Jeff Meacham has stuff on there. I think Walter, all the NoDQ merchandise is over there at that site. But that's all I got. For Walter, for Jeff, for Aaron, and the whole NoDQ crew and galaxy, I am Virtue the moderator, and this has been the review. Did I freeze there? I love it. Yeah. 279. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next Sunday. Good night, everybody.
Shout out to JJ for that screen cap. Love you, brother.
You're a mark.
Wait, Aaron, I think we got a super chat.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
We missed it.
Oh, we got it. Okay. This Guy Experience. Shout out to This Guy Experience.
Trying to get out the air by 6, man. Come on.
Says, if AEW can't gain viewers soon, will they be TNA? I think they have to drop to like 100,000 before they're TNA.
They're not. They're fine. They're fine. Yeah, no. Not their 750 locked.
Listen, as long as they have the Warner Brothers Discovery television deal, they're going to be fine. So we can all make fun of them. No Millie, no 1 million viewers. But as long as Warner Brothers Discovery renews their deal and they're making money with that deal, they're going to be fine. Whether it's 700,000, 800,000, whatever, AEW will survive. So there you go.
All right, that's all I got, Aaron.
All right.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday.
Have a great night. Say yes to NoDQ, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.